6% of the country, according to Useless NAR, moves every year, and focus on the 94%. This is the episode you've all been waiting for 2 extra days late compared to normal. You've been checking your phones nonstop since Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. That's when Eastern time is when I normally release this podcast. But for whatever reason, even though we talked on Monday and said, hey, we need to record a podcast, we both acknowledged it and then got off whatever call we were on and then just never did it. And here we are. So welcome to...
What was it, 10 o'clock last night? I was like, hey, we didn't do a podcast.
We should probably do that since it's supposed to come out on Tuesdays, and it is Wednesday night. Oops. That's all right. We'll get there. At least it's coming at you every week. So here we are back at the Tactical Agent Podcast. I'm Mike. This is Chris. We are the Tactical Agents, and if you want to know more about us, you can get our book for free. If you would like to reach out to us in our website, 107project.com. All the good stuff will be in the description if you want to connect with us. We're on a mission to help 10,000 cops, veterans, and other public safety professionals change their lives through their own residential real estate business. So if that describes you, or if you're not one of those things, but you love that mission and you want to talk more about connecting, well, connect. All right? Any other housekeeping items? Yes. All right. We're going to keep this really simple, and the market is changing, and it's weird because everybody's on their real estate surfboards looking at the horizon all right, how do I navigate this? Can I catch a wave? Am I going to be able to make it through this? And for a lot of agents, if they haven't already laid a foundation for a business that can grow, that can thrive through these times, then it could be hard. It could be difficult, especially if you're brand new. You just got licensed a month or two ago and you're hitting the ground running. It's a very weird market right now to do that in. And I guess let's talk about what makes it weird, in your opinion.
Well, what makes it weird is essentially there's a shortage still, a pretty significant shortage in the number of available homes. I think it's somewhere close to 4 million homes that were short in the U.S. And there is a high demand for the homes that are available, but people aren't selling right now as much, or at least in my market in the Phoenix area. But there's still a lot of transactions happening. It's just, man, people are waiting for those interest rates to come down. And one of the most significant pieces of that, and this is where you really need to educate any buyers or sellers you're working with, is that when those rates do come down, there is going to be a massive explosion of real estate sales. It's going to be absurd. And for those of you that were working just, what was it, 2020, 2021, when things were just brutal, trying to, you put a listing on the market and you get 50 offers, or, you're trying to, it's going to be worse than that. It's going to be, because so many people that would normally be buying a house right now are just hitting that pause button and waiting for those rates to come down. And when they first see that first sign of them getting to where they want them to be, back in the fives, maybe even back in the sixes, the low sixes, you're gonna see an explosion. Now, when is that going to happen? Who knows? You don't know what the government's going to do, how they're going to manipulate it, and the government doesn't directly control the interest rates, but they have a whole lot of influence on it. And
for sure,
that those high rates are just really holding down the buying and selling market right now.
Yeah, it's a weird mix, right? Because some people don't want to buy because of the interest rates, and then most of the reason at this point, clearly, that people don't want to sell is the interest rates. Because if they sell their house, I was just talking to a guy the other day. I think he got a 2.1 percent interest rate before?
So
Like,
ridiculous.
why would that guy on a $190,000 house at 2.2% interest rate go to that next house, the $289,000 house or whatever, upgrade, expand, or whatever, at a 7.5% interest
Yeah.
rate? You know what? Why? Why would they? Why would they do that? Right? So it is a weird time. So certainly, if those interest rates we start seeing them back between 4 and 5, we're going to see some really interesting things start happening, and we'll be here for it. So
Yeah.
I'm excited, but it's challenging, right? So especially if you are a part-time agent or a new agent and you really haven't laid the foundation, how do you navigate this? So what I want to do for today's episode, which is again straightforward, is pretend that someone, a new agent, is coming to you and saying like, and you have an opportunity to give them one piece of advice for starting, if they want to start now and grow their business for the future and navigate this challenging, weird market. What's the one piece of advice you would give on the fly? Because this is on the fly. We didn't plan this.
Yeah. Play the long game. You are not going to trick somebody into buying a house if they don't want to, right? Mm-hmm. But you can position yourself as an advocate, as a consultant, as a professional in their lives over the next months or years, whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. And you can set yourself up for the future where you can walk into a windfall. And that's, so many people get into real estate and think they're just going to, oh, I'm just going to call my cousin and they're going to sell their house and everybody's going to use me because they like me and all this stuff. That's not how it works. You have to build trust. You have to build capital in the relationship. And to do that, you put in the work now and it pays off. Now, normally we say it pays off 90 to 120 days down the road, you know, for most people. I mean, you've got to have a lot of different relationships and, you know, the work you're doing pays off over time. It's no different. The time scale is just a little longer. And the upside is a lot bigger because you have an opportunity to really fill your pipeline so that when those rates do come down and people do start making moves at a high level, you're going to be a really, really busy person if you continue to put in the work and maintain discipline and consistency right now, because a ton of people are quitting. A ton of people are quitting. And that opens up even more opportunity for you.
Yep. I think that my advice is just a notch different, but not much. Right?
Yeah.
Because what came to my mind was to tell this realtor that would come to me for this is to say, focus, and I think I've even said it on the show before, focus on the 94%. 6% of the country, according to Useless NAR, moves every year, and focus on the 94%. If you build the relationships now with the 94% who are not currently moving, when they do, you'll just find yourself with an endless cycle of business that you can sort of like turn the spigot and adjust the flow of the pace that you would want. And you can position yourself very, very well. So build your brand, grow your skill set, maintain those connections, and focus on the 94%. Don't chase after the same business that every other realtor is going to instinctively try to swarm like sharks on blood in the water, you know, like don't even go there. Everybody's moving left, head right. Go do things a little bit differently. And yeah, it is going to take a longer period of time to start that kind of business, but that's the kind of business that in the future will actually navigate the next difficult time. Right now in this weird market, you know, I'm under contract on one property, taking another listing this week. Like there's business happening right now for me because I started laying the groundwork years ago. So you just have to focus on the things that other people aren't focusing on, because transactions are still happening. It's just a matter of whether or not you're connected to it. So that's the kind of, if that's the kind of business you want. I mean, if you want a real estate business that's just cash now, I mean, I guess you can do that. Then you're gonna have to door knock and try to convert. You just got to start talking to 100 people a day, and then it's a matter of how badly do you want it. I mean, because it's there if you go get it. It's just, is that the kind of process you want to follow to get the business? It's not my cup of tea, but if you want it bad enough, you can go get it. You just have to do the work. But you could focus your time on building your brand and the 94%. And I think that that's going to be a much less stressful way. Might not mean you're making cash, but you got into real estate. You should, if somebody didn't tell you that you are at least 30 days away from ever getting any money, and that's at warp speed. That's, you already have clients when you get your license.
Right.
Otherwise, we're talking 90 days, usually. So 90 to 120 days before you start making any money anyway. So if nobody told you that and you weren't prepared for that, well, that's a shame on you or a shame on them for telling you something different. But that's my advice. Anything to add to that?
Not really. I mean, and we're not saying that you won't be able to do any transactions over the next year while they work on correcting this market and getting the interest rates down. That's not what we're saying at all. We're just saying that don't let yourself get discouraged if you're not doing as much business as you think you should be, because nobody's doing as much business as they think they should be right now. Mm-hmm. You just got to play the long game. And it's, so many people are so short-sighted when it comes to success in real estate. They see those big checks and they just want to get their hands on them, right? But if you were to take the time and build something over a long period of time, again, with that consistent, disciplined effort, then those checks don't mean anything. One check doesn't mean anything when you're getting, 7 or 8 or 10 a month, and you're knocking down several $100,000 a year, and you're working with clients that are doctors and lawyers bragging about how much money they make, and you're outperforming them in income for your 90 hours in real estate school. There is definitely an upside to the business. You just have to be willing to endure the hardships, so that you can get there. It's just like anything else. Like, nothing's easy and all the time. Like, real estate was easy the last couple of years, but it's not ever going to always be easy.
Amen. Well, guys, that's our quick one-off, off-the-cuff advice to face this challenging market. So you guys want to learn more, talk more, I'll put the link to our website. If you get connected to us there and are just looking for the free ebook, message us, get connected, all that good stuff, and we can get that to you. And we're not asking for anything in response other than hoping it adds value to your business. And if it does, and you like what we're putting out here, just give this channel a subscribe, like the video, throw a comment in here. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, subscribe there, leave a rating and review. We appreciate it. We're just going to continue to put out content that we feel adds value into the marketplace here for the real estate space. And I guess we should mention, too, that if both of us now are licensed mortgage loan originators.
Yes.
And we have the ability to help in 45, soon to be 47 states. So if you're an agent that's listening to this podcast and you are looking for a trusted lender that can get things done when they say and treat you with the respect that the transaction deserves, reach out to us as well. We'll drop some emails down in there, and you can reach out that way. More exciting news to come in future podcasts as we're doing some other cool things. Can't wait to tell you guys about. But in the meantime, go kill it. Hope you face this challenging market well, and if we can ever help you, you let us know.